welcome to Muscle Maintenance with InShape Fitness. I'm Coach Kim. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are revving up the body with a morning body blast. This is going to be a 15-minute equipment-free exercise routine. We're going to have some fun, get your body revved up for the start of your day without the obligatory trip to the gym. So kick off your shoes, find a spot on your floor, and let's begin with a postural systems check. There are going to be no surprises here in terms of the exercises. We're going to do simple movements, rev up your metabolism, boost your energy, stimulate all of your muscles and your breath, your heart rate, elevate your heart rate in order to get your body going without having to go to that workout and sweat it out for an hour after work, which chances are, if that's your thing, if your plan is to go to the gym after you go to work during the day, you have like double the chance that you're going to skip the workout because things get in the way. You leave late from the office. So getting something into your day by virtue of a morning routine is the single greatest way to have a sustainable exercise plan in your life. So the postural systems check is really simple. You stand up really tall. You have bare feet, so you focus on your feet first. Grip the floor with your toes and make sure that you are pressing into the floor with all four corners of your feet. You don't have square feet, obviously, but you sort of have four corners. If you think about the balls of your feet, either the outside and the inside, and then the heel of your feet, heels of your feet, where you think about the pressing on the inside, the sort of pronation kind of feel where you're pressing into the arch of your foot versus the outside of your foot. So think about those two things and just make sure that you're also using your right leg and your left leg equally to the extent that you can. So then travel up your body and think about your quads. Right? Think about squeezing those quads. Don't lock your knees, but think about having tree trunks for legs. And then your butt cheeks. Take that one step further where you squeeze your tushy muscles and tuck in your tailbone, scoop the butt in a little bit in order to fully extend your pelvic muscles, and then zip up your tummy muscles and pull your belly button in towards and up through towards your spine. Now press your shoulders back a little bit. As your arms dangle next to your body, it's become sort of natural that you press your palms face your legs, your thumbs face forward. But anatomically correct position of your natural body has your hand pointing out a little bit, turning out where your thumbs point out at about a 45-degree angle. That way your shoulders are back, lined up vertically with your ears. Your chest is open and you're not pulling on your back muscles and collapsing your pec muscles, which also inhibits complete and efficient respiration. So take 3 deep belly breaths now that we've got that plumb line straight and beautiful, and make sure that you are inhaling through your nose, deeply smelling the air around you. Hopefully it smells good where you are, but breathe in through your nose. That helps make sure that you're activating the more executive parts of your brain, and then bellow out all of the carbon dioxide through your mouth. So breathe in and then bellow out. Breathe in and bellow out. Awesome. Now, really simple balance exercise. It's called the Lighthouse. We start almost all of our exercise routines with these 2 moves because they're really simple and they also help get your brain focused on your body, because I know the moment the alarm clock goes off in my house and then in my head, there are a million things I think about that I need to do, right? We're reactionary people these days, and it is a mile a minute from the moment I wake up until the moment I go back to bed. But your body time is your body time. And so by doing the Lighthouse and the postural systems check, you force your breathing, you force your awareness. Proprioception is your awareness of where your body is in space. So now you're thinking about your arms extended out to the sides, palms face down, and your feet go into a heel to toe position. Heel to toe with your feet straight. If you're too wobbly in this position, you can stagger your feet a little bit. The only movement here is the turning of your head. You turn your head slowly all the way to the right until you gaze down the length of your right arm. If you can't do that because the range of motion in your neck is limited for whatever reason, don't push it, but just turn your head to the left. So you're going back and forth like the light in a lighthouse, and you're discombobulating the equilibrium of your inner ear, which activates a lot of small muscles that reside in your feet and in your lower legs. So you are forcing yourself to develop that sensory component of your balance so that your vestibular system, so that you are better able to do a lot of the other exercises that we're going to do. And we are going to get going here very soon. Now flip your feet so that the other foot is in the rear. And same thing, turn your head. All right, a couple more. Take a couple of deep breaths. What I want you to do next is separate your feet, make sure they're hip width apart. Now, a couple of things. A lot of the movements we're going to do for the next 4 minutes relate to interacting with gravity and moving in multiple dimensions with all of the body. Okay, so there are adaptations for easier or harder movements. I'm going to try to get through all of this as best as we can, but lift your arms above your head to start. And now what I want you to do is squat all the way down and touch the floor. Try to push your butt back so that your knees, when they do end up going past the tips of your toes, you're hinging at your hips so that your chest is still forward and your back is straight. And then hopefully you can squat all the way down. Now you need some range of motion in those haunches, right? The haunch is the combination of your butt and your thighs. So you want to, you might have to kind of work on this a little bit. If you have to bend over a little bit more to begin, that's okay. But think about how effective it is for you to squat all the way down. Get your butt as low to the ground as possible, and then reach all the way up by squeezing your glutes and pressing your heels into the floor. This is a squat down, reach up. Squat down, reach up. Now, let's add in a walkout into push-up position. So you're going to squat all the way down, and then your hands are going to take like 5 steps out, maybe 6, walking steps with your hands out to push-up position where your shoulders find themselves vertical with your hands. And then you're going to walk back, and you're going to stand all the way up and reach up again. Excellent. Squat all the way down, walk your hands out, lower your body now into a push-up from the push-up position if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. Just go right back. This is a walk-up, a walk-out push-up, or a walk-out plank if you're not doing the push-up part. And then make sure you lift your arms above your head when you get back to the standing position. Fully elongate through the spine and lift your arms up above your head. And then keep that going. Now, once you get into that push-up position, if you can, go from your push-up into a side plank. A lot of people call these T stabilization or rotational reaches. So you lift one arm up and rotate to the side into a side plank, and then go back to your squatted position and stand all the way back up and reach up again with your hands up towards your ceiling. And then when you go back down the next time, you can go into your push-up and then lift up the alternating side into the alternating side plank. And then back into your plank, and then walk your hands back out, and then stand all the way back up. Do another 45 seconds of any of that combination where you walk out, do a push-up, side plank, walk back, stand up. Make sure you're breathing, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. I want to finish the workout by 15 minutes. That's why I'm cutting it short with this particular round. I want to make sure that we have time for another circuit, if you will, on your feet, where we do some lunges and some kicks and some hops. So finish the one that you're on. You've got 8 more seconds to finish this circuit, this round robin of the walkout push-up into the side plank and the squat down reach up. All right. Take a couple of deep breaths. If you need to rest in child's pose for a couple of seconds before you go back to your feet, that's awesome. That's fine. But when you do get to your feet, take those deep breaths, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth, and think about, don't let your mind wander. Keep your brain inside of your body's position, the plumb line, your posture. Now, bring your hands in front of your face like a kickboxer. I want you to pretend as though you are kickboxing. You're going to lift up one knee, probably the left knee, and then kick out the lower leg with a flexed foot. And then put your foot back down on the floor and then repeat that. So do 10 on each side, right? Get into it. Think about the movement. If your hands being up in front of your face elevates your heart rate too much, you can let your hands lower to your hips and just hold on to your hips. Or hold on to the back of a chair if you're not too stable. That's fine as well. So after the 10 with the left foot, then complete 10 with your right foot. And again, you're flexing the foot as you kick out the lower leg. You lift up the knee, and then that kinetic energy centers through your abdomen and extends out through your leg as you're making contact. If you were actually kicking someone, you would make contact with your heel, hence the flexed of the flexed foot. All right, now let's do some lunges with the kicks. So let's do a reverse lunge where your right leg stays stable. You take a step back with the left leg and then bend both of the knees so that your body lowers straight down. And then you stand back up and push off with the left foot as you return to your starting position. So just 5 of those on each of your legs so that you get the movement down. And then we're going to add in the kick with the lunge in order to really get the heart rate up. And then we'll do that a couple of times, and then we're going to add a couple of hops in the middle between the sides as you're alternating sides in order to really get the heart rate up and focus in on just sort of thread a little bit of plyometrics in there. Okay, so now you've done the lunges on both sides. Probably was harder when your left leg was stable if you're a right-handed person. So just be mindful of that. It's one of the reasons why we do a lot of single leg exercises, so that your legs work independently of one another. So now as you extend the lunge leg back, you're going to go into a kick. Or if you're more comfortable kicking first and then going into the lunge, that's fine too. It doesn't really matter. But for the next 30 seconds, I want you just moving with the left leg. Right leg is stable. Lunge and kick. Lunge and kick. Arms up. Arms down beside your body. That's fine. You've got 20 more seconds to go. 10 more seconds to go. Very good. You're doing great. This is a body blast, so we're going to basically do everything that we can do here on our feet in order to really rev up your metabolism as you kick off the rest of your day. We're going to finish in a plank at the end here. You're switching to the other side. If you haven't already, your left leg is stable. Now your right leg is moving. And in 15 more seconds, we're going to add a squat jump into the middle where you sit down into a chair and then launch up into the sky, into your air as you come out of the squat. Now, alternatively, your time is up, by the way, so we're going to add that jump in now. So let's just do a couple of those. If you're not really good at squats, so pushing back your butt and sitting down into an imaginary chair without your knees going past the tips of your toes, then maybe just do some bunny hops, or even a jumping jack is fine. But if you can sit down and back, and then as you're coming up, you launch off of the balls of your feet and then land back on to the balls of your feet, and then stabilize yourself, and then go into the lunge. So let's do squat or whichever kind of jump you want to do, and then left foot lunge kick, right foot lunge kick, and then back to the squat jump, and then repeat. All right, so finish that up. This is going to be the last move on our feet. Then we're going to go down to that plank, which is where I will leave you. So go ahead and keep that going. You've got another 30 seconds to go. You are squat jumping. Left foot lunges back into a forward left leg kick. Right leg lunges back into a right leg forward kick. Then a squat jump. Left leg lunges back into a forward kick. Let's put that extra jump in since we're running out of time. This is the last one. Squat, jump high as you can. Right leg lunges back, right forward kick. Now plop back down on the floor into a forearm plank, right where your elbows are on the floor and your forearms. Not that you have 1, 2, 3, 4 arms, but that your hands are on the floor, your elbows are on the floor, your elbows and your shoulders line up vertically. You should hold this position for the next minute and then take a minute to breathe deeply in child's pose, a couple of downward facing dogs, and maybe a couple of hamstring and spinal stretches. But I'm Coach Kim from In Shape Fitness. I'm going to say goodbye for now. I will be back again, another new episode next week. And later on this week, we will be doing another podcast routine with the In Shape Fitness Show, our other podcast. And this week's story is going to be about Michael Phelps and cupping. This procedure that he did. I don't know if you watched the last Olympics, but he showed up with these circular purple bruises, which I thought to be interesting. So I did some research on cupping and its effect on athletes throughout the ages. Have a great rest of the day.